do this. Right. And you are very welcome to the Brazilian Grand Prix that is being hosted by That Is Next Level Experience, and everyone is in the house. Kadugala, as always, is on pole for this race, and it could rain, it could get messy, but one thing that we are sure of is turns 1 and turn 3 are going to give us a bit of carnage, and you want to be able to experience all that and so much more. Today in the commentary box, I'm joined by Ruth, and we are going to give you all the action and all the drama that is going to unfold in the Brazilian Grand Prix. It is the first ever Formula 1 eSports Championship in Uganda, and boy oh boy have we enjoyed this, have we had fun. And right about now we are going to get into the action, and the drivers are going to get into the formation, and after it will be lights out. And it's lights out, and where we go, a brilliant start for Kadugala right there, and you can only imagine how happy he will be with that start. Gerald is right behind him, breathing down his neck. Like I said, there's so much drama in this race, and we are definitely going to be given some much needed entertainment in this race. But so far, we expected some bit of yellow flags in turns 1 and 3, but the drivers seem to have done their homework. They did their practice, but importantly, the pole setter, Kadugala, got off to a fantastic start, and we are on board with him right about now. Very beautiful turn from Kadugala right there. He's quite very gentle with his steering today, and he knows what needs to be done. He knows he has to win this race if he's able to take the points off of Gerald Hamilton, who is the championship leader. 4 points separates Gerald from that is Eric. But all in all, you want to win this championship if you're Kadugala, because if he wins today, he puts himself comfortable in a position where he could make a case for himself as well in this championship. A reminder that Next Level Experience has put 1 million Ugandan shillings on the line for anyone to be able to win this season's championship. It all ends on the 20th of November. But for now, Samuel King is being hunted by B-Wall. And there he goes. Can he get the inside? Just not yet. And Tim knocks Gerald Hamilton out. And now, Gerald Hamilton finds himself in 5th. And he has a lot of work to do because he has lost a lot of time. What separates him from Kadugala now is a whole 8 seconds. So much work to do for Gerald. But if we have seen anything over the last races, it's that this man will leave nothing to chance. B-Wall hunting down Samuel King. B-Wall is racing for that is Gardens F1, and we are on board with the 2 drivers. Can B-Wall get DRS? Oh, just what about, he gets the inside, but Samuel King protects his inside, and now B-Wall still has a whole lot of work to do. But these two have given us so much drama over the last races, and they are giving it to us yet again. Here we go, yet again. Just 0.3 seconds separating these 2 drivers. Samuel King has a lot of work to do in terms of defending B-Wall. Does he have the inside? Just not yet. Just not yet. 0.2 seconds separating these 2 drivers. Here we go. We are on board B-Wall, who is hunting down Samuel King. Oh, quite a beautiful turn by Samuel King. Goes a little wide, but it recovers quickly and beautifully. B-Wall not letting anything to chance. We are really in for a race from these 2. But here is Kadugala continuing to lead this race in the best ways possible. And he leads by 1.4 seconds ahead of Joel Kamadi. who is being driven for by Timothy. And he steps it up, 1.5 seconds separating these two. Gerald finds himself in 5th. He has a whole 2 seconds to recover on B-Wall before he can go on to attack Samuel King. But B-Wall could have gotten the edge that he needed, and he takes it, gets it to the 3rd position. He promised us to get on 2 podium, and he's doing just about that. He needs to continue driving and get to Joel Kamadi. If anything, he needs to get that podium position today. He has a whole 3 seconds to hand down on. But if we have seen anything, it's that B-Wall and Samuel King love to go at each other, because guess what? It's just 0.7 seconds separating these two drivers, and they are giving it their all. Well, there is drama that could be coming at the top, because Joel Kamadi is just 0.6 seconds behind Kadugala, 0.5. Can he get DRS? He just might be getting DRS. Just there we go. On board with Joel Kamadi. He is hunting down the race leader, but the race leader keeps his head cool. He knows he has got to keep his head cool. Any slight mistake could see him losing out on this race. These two, and there's been a knock. Well, just not enough for us to be alarmed about. But we are back on board with the race leaders, Joel Kamadi and Kadugala. 0.6 seconds separating these two drivers. It's all about the attention and the focus on your race. Any slight mistake could see either one of them out of the race to take the leadership of this race. But Kadugala maintaining his posture, and here comes Joel Kamadi. He's prancing and is getting ever so closer. 0.2 seconds separate these two drivers, and he gets wide, he gets the DRS, and he gets the inside lane, and he takes the leadership of this race. Joel Kamadi, what a race, and what a way to take the leadership away from Kadugala, who started off quite well. Kadugala not giving in yet. He's also coming back to hunt for his position. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who Kadugala is, he's the one driving using the Mercedes car, and Joel Kamadi is using the Red Bull car. So either way, those are your drivers. But we are now on board with Gerald Hamilton and Gerald Hamilton. Gerald Hamilton is behind B-Wall by just 0.2 seconds. That was the kind of swap B-Wall would have wanted to have, and it's given Gerald Hamilton the much needed press he needed, and he goes off trying to get the inside of B-Wall, and B-Wall maintains that leadership. But for how long? He protects that inside. Again, protects that inside. He gets away from Gerald Hamilton, who seems a little shaky today, because that normally for Gerald Hamilton would definitely have meant an overtake, and B-Wall is having quite a race really. 0.5 seconds separating these two drivers. B-Wall racing in the Ferrari and Gerald Hamilton racing in the McLaren. These two, 0.1 seconds separating these two, and now 0.3. But for how long do you think B-Wall can be able to maintain this? For just about how long can he continue with this kind of racing? But for now, he's protected that inside. He's caressing it like the baby it is. And could he get the DRS now? Can Gerald Hamilton get the DRS? He just might get the DRS, and yes he does. He overtakes B-Wall, and he gets the B-Wall properly defends that inside. Beautiful driving from the Uganda's F1 driver. Absolutely beautiful driving. If you have something to defend, call B-Wall to defend it for you, because this is a masterclass on defending. But Gerald Hamilton will always find a way, and he found a way, and then he spun. Oh no, these two have hit each other, and they are out of this race. Oh no, Gerald Hamilton struggling to recover, comes back on to the track. Oh, disaster and disaster for these two drivers. Gerald Hamilton has completely lost it, because he's found himself yet again out of the track, and now is just recovering. Yeah, he'll not be a happy man tonight. He'll definitely not be a happy man tonight, because now he has a whole 20-second gap to break down on B-Wall. So B-Wall has to maintain this, and he has to continue driving the way he's driving, so that he can get the undercut in terms of pitting. Oh dear, oh dear. The tires are wearing out for Gerald Hamilton. The rear tires are absolutely at 25. Right, Ruth, anything that you have noticed in this race so far? Because I think it's been one heck of a race, if you had to ask me.
For sure, it has been. I think one thing I really noticed with B-Wall's driving is that he likes to get in the slipstream of the McLarens, in this case Samuel King, and then gets out of it, makes the overtake. Samuel King had dropped down the grid, but now he's made up places. Now the question is, will B-Wall be able to get into the slipstream, get out of it, make the overtake on the outside on the McLaren? I really don't know whether it will happen. It's now the battle of the Ferrari against the McLarens, which is quite interesting.
It is really interesting, isn't it? Quite the race, if you had to say.
Yeah, for sure. It's quite the race. And, you know, Samuel King is a pretty good driver. He has good control. So when he lost it there, I was a bit surprised. But now he has Kadugala in front of him. So the question is, will he be able to beat the Mercedes in his McLaren? I'm not sure, but we'll have to go through 26 more laps.
Right. Samuel King and B-Wall colliding in there. But B-Wall recovers quite right about on time. And Gerald Hamilton is looking at his tires. He's not happy. He has a whole 21 seconds to recover on B-Wall. And Samuel King, with that bit of a moment, him and B-Wall, he has to be rather careful. But at the top of this, the leader, it is Joel, and it's a 3-second penalty to Kadugala. Oh dear, it's gone from an amazing race, from what could have been an amazing race, to now recovery for Kadugala. Can he master what it takes? Gerald Hamilton finishes outside of the top 3, and this championship will be blown way open for anyone to take home. And as things stand, it could be Joel Kamadi who will win this race, and that will only mean one thing, that there is a whole lot of work for Gerald Hamilton to do in Mexico. B-Wall, with just 1 second separating him from that is Samuel King, has a lot of work to do, but we are on board with the race leader, Joel Kamadi. He's literally flying solo out there. A whole 3 seconds he's now gotten on to Kadugala, and you will be asking yourself, what can the Black Oak team driving the Mercedes do different to be able to capture that Red Bull car of the Twitter community? And Joel Kamadi goes for the undercut. He is in the pits. That means that Kadugala has an opportunity to get back on pole position for this race, and he is leading this race now. But remember, he is yet to pit, and Joel Kamadi has pitted for some mediums. Well, by the look of things, it's going to be a 2-pit stop strategy for either one of these drivers. If you get in for mediums, there's a high chance you will have to come back to get back into that pit for some softs at the end of it all, and that could determine so much, and I mean so much, on who could win this championship.
I think, Gerald Hamilton has done the wise thing, pitted right now because he had a lot of damage on his car. The gap between him to B-Wall was, 30 seconds now, so pitting just made so much sense for him to be more competitive again.
Well, that is an entire pit stop for B-Wall. He has an opportunity to pit and still come out on top or ahead of Gerald Hamilton. He just needs to maintain the driving that is happening, and he's going after Samuel King. What separates these two drivers is just 0.7 seconds, now 0.6. We could be in for quite the overtake. Any moment now, here comes B-Wall. Can he get DRS? The DRS has been enabled for B-Wall, but does he have enough power? Just not yet. Just not. Oh, that was almost what he needed. But beautiful defending by Samuel King right there. These two have always offered us drama and will always offer us drama. But we need a very clean race from these two drivers, because the last time that they went at each other, we saw a bit of an accident.
For sure, and I have a question for you, Moses. At the moment, every other driver is on soft tires apart from Gerald, who's running on medium tires, and Kadugala on hard tires. And if you know something about hard tires, is that they're probably going to slow him down. Do you think Gerald is going to be able to catch up with him on these medium tires? Because I don't know why he went for the hard tires.
Well, I think what Kadugala was aiming for, start on hards, take the race a little bit up to almost the 30th lap, pit for some softs, and do an entire 6 laps on this race. And I think that has been his goal. And if he's able to pull it off, it could be a strategy that goes and works for him, because with a number of laps to go, about 22 laps to go, it means that Gerald Hamilton has to pit again, and yet what Kadugala has gone for is a one pit stop strategy. So it could work out for him. We just have to wait and see at what point does he pit.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense now. So fingers crossed, we see who the better driver is out of the two of them.
Definitely. Absolute drama, absolute chaos. But these two still at it. And who's been knocked? Kadugala has been pitched at the back. So it means that his work has been thrown out of the window and he's been overtaken. So he has a lot of work to do. My oh my, Joel Kamadi back into leading this race. Kadugala is not happy. Oh dear. Oh dear. Not the race he wanted to have. Not the race he wanted to have. Finds himself in 4th position, and now he's ahead of Gerald Hamilton by 19 seconds, and B-Wall is entered into the pit. Samuel King has entered into the pit, but guess what? He's entered the pit behind B-Wall. Which team is going to make the fastest pit stop is going to determine who comes out on top, and B-Wall comes out ahead of Samuel King, so B-Wall will retain his 2nd position, and that is very, very critical for the Guardians F1 driver. Now separating the two drivers is just 1 second. Absolute drama in Brazil. Absolute drama. Ooh, quite a bit of a shake there from Samuel King. And here the two drivers go at it again, but behind them comes Kadugala with much warmer tires and the hards. He wants to go for the long drive and to go for the one pit stop strategy. We'll have to wait and see what happens for him at the end of it all. But Gerald Hamilton now 10 seconds behind Kadugala. We could be in for some drama as things look.
For sure, we could be in for some drama. Gerald is catching up. He's closing the gap between himself and Kadugala. Kadugala lost a lot of time when he scuffled onto the grass. So you never really know what's going to happen. Even with the one pit stop strategy, you mess everything up on the last lap and lose your place. So fingers crossed the best driver will come out on top.
right, there you go. And a reminder that today I'm joined by Ruth, who's doing an amazing job and doing some of the great analysis that you're hearing in your commentary today. So, I mean, Ruth, thank you so much for first of all coming to save me from all this drama.
Thank you for inviting me as well. I'm inspired by you, so this is a great platform for me to be at. Thank you.
All right, Ruth. Well, Samuel King, 1 second behind the wall, but he has a man breathing down his neck in Kadugala, who is also 1.4 seconds behind him. And like I said, drama, my oh my, my oh my. But, well, Joel Kamadi is enjoying a fantastic race up there because he has a beautiful 27.9 seconds gap on the next person, and that is B-Wall. Well, if there has ever been drama, this is it. But if there has ever been an opportunity for a clean race, that Samuel King with 0.3 seconds could be in for an overtake on B-Wall. Oh! Oh no! And he spins. He tried to get in for the inside of B-Wall, but just did not have the racing line. Oh no! A lot of work to do for Samuel King because now he has to hand down Kadugala and try to catch up on the B-Wall. And Kadugala now has to hand down B-Wall because 1.1 second is all he needs to close down on B-Wall. He knows he needs to close down that gap. He needs to be able to bridge that gap between him and B-Wall to go and attack Joel Kamadi. I mean, what a race we're having, Ruth.
What a race. I did not see that spin coming. Just reminds me of Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton 2016, I think, when they made contact with each other and spun. Like, you didn't see it coming, but then it just came your way. And it makes it more interesting. That's what we want to watch anyway as the fans.
I mean, if you're seated at home, this is the drama you want to have. You want to feel what the drivers are going through.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure someone is screaming in their headsets over there in the driver's cockpit. So that's interesting.
Well, and Kadugala gets the outside of B-Wall, gets the inside, and he gets that overtake that he's been waiting for. That was a very, very, very close action. Very, very close. Anything could have happened. Can B-Wall get back in? Yes, he has. He gets the inside of Kadugala and he spills away from the Mercedes driving Blackhawks driver. Oh wow. Drama after drama. Drama after drama. B-Wall, can he maintain? These two are going to keep going at each other. That I promise you. And that is what we pay our money for. But that is what Joel Kamadi is praying for, because with that, he's able to run away from these two drivers as they continue defending and battling each other. Now, he has a whole pit stop and an entire seconds gap on these two drivers. He could pit, come out with some softs, get ahead of them, and still pit ahead of them before they can overtake him.
Yeah, and he could make contact with someone and lose it all. You never really know what it is. You never really know. But that was impressive, the overtaking went on Kadugala, but he just lost the place again. So I spoke too fast, I guess.
The commentators cast.
I spoke too fast because he just lost the position again. But with the Ferrari, he looks like he has more pace, but Kadugala has more speed. So I'm not sure who's going to win this one at the end of the day, but we're getting closer to the end anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will definitely see, because now we have, drama. 16 laps to go. These guys are giving it everything. But as they're giving it everything, Joel Kamadi is a very, very happy man, because now 31 seconds is the gap between him and these two drivers who are going back to back against each other. if there is anything called drama that you want to have, you want to keep your eyes glued on next level experience, and the only reason is this season we started the first ever eSports championship, and boy oh boy have these drivers given us the ultimate entertainment, the drama, the carnage, the celebrations, the happiness and the sadness, the breakdowns. But at the end of the day, that's what F1 is all about.
It is. You just love the unpredictability of it all. And you know, speaking about being unpredictable, I don't understand how Gerald is able to be so ahead of everybody else in clean air. Well, I guess it's the Red Bull. They say it gives you wings because he's just flying ahead of everyone else. And somehow, even when B-Wall was behind him in second place, he still had that huge gap of 30 seconds. The same thing has happened to Kadugala. He's behind him in second place, but he just cannot close down that 30-second gap, you know, to Joel, which is just going to make it harder for anyone to win other than Joel at this point, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, by the look of things, with just about 15 laps to go, it all looks like it's going to be Joel Kamadi's race to win, because unless for some reason, like what we saw in Imola, when the leader completely lost it and spun into the gravel and lost the race, unless that happens again, this is Joel Kamadi's race to win.
For sure, it might be his race to win, but you know, miracles still happen. So you know,
Formula One is full of them.
Yeah, Formula One is full of them. I'm also concerned about Gerald. He has had, you know, to go to, I don't know why he doesn't get his car fixed. I could be wrong on this one, but he's about to get black and orange flags. He needs to fix something on his car. If you look at his driver leaderboard, and it's also not helping him, you know, with catching up with Samuel King and, you know, getting the others on the track as well.
Definitely. Well, like I keep telling you guys, if there's anything you want to be certain of, is that Formula One is your ultimate or your premier sport that gives you everything about technology and everything about racing. It's all about the data, it's all about, you know, the little things that matter, that give you that edge or that will take you out of the race. And by the look of things, Gerald Hamilton with this race, but he's setting some purple sectors, and that will be very important for him as he chases down on Samuel King. But he needs to drive with everything. He needs to give it everything, because what's separating him now from Samuel King is 1.3 seconds. So he needs to get closer, and he needs to do it now, not anytime, but now, because short of that, he may find himself out of the pole positions, and that will be nothing but dangerous for him, because as things stand, he's just right behind. Because as things look now, Gerald Hamilton with 0.8 seconds, can he attack the moving arts driver? 0.4 seconds. Any moment now, can he get the DRS? Just not yet. Just not yet. We are out of the DRS zone, so he has to go at this the normal way. He has to drive it out, and he seems to be getting the better of Samuel King. He gets the inside and he overtakes the moving as driver, who goes wide off the track. That is not what Samuel King would have wanted, but he's just stayed a little behind. They are both driving the McLaren cars. So Gerald Hamilton is leading Samuel King now. Oh, what a race, guys. What a race. Everywhere is full of action. B-Wall on Kadugala. 0.8 seconds separating them. But Samuel King and Gerald Hamilton are going at it yet again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we may not be able to give you all the drama, but we'll give you some of the drama that we're able to pick out. 0.4 seconds separating Samuel King and Gerald Hamilton. 0.6 seconds separating B-Wall and Kadugala. Like we said, it's just drama everywhere. But guess what? There's no drama. It's where Joel Kamadi is, because he is flying in no man's land. He is absolutely driving a race of his own. B-Wall, can he get the inside? Can he get the inside? Brilliant defending by Kadugala. Brilliant defending. brilliant defending. He's protected that inside like he should. And we are on board these two drivers, on board B-Wall, who is hunting down Kadugala. Ooh, what a race, guys. What a race. What a race. 0.8 seconds separating these two, and 0.7 seconds separate Samuel King and Gerald Hamilton. None of them is biting. No one is pitting. No one is blinking. What a race, Ruth.
What a race. And you know, B-Wall could make it. He seems pretty fast on the straights. It's just when he gets to the turns that, you know, the braking could be a little bit tricky for him. That way his opponent just gets the inside line and constantly remains in the place. But he could, you know, move places up. We never really know. The same thing for Gerald Hamilton. You said a while ago he was going purple in certain sectors. And we saw him make the overtake on Samuel King. Unfortunately, he has lost the place. But if he keeps up with the pace that he had before, he's definitely going to make the overtake on Samuel King in a few laps. Well,
Samuel King got the better of Gerald Hamilton, the championship leader. He has a 1.8 seconds gap. And guess what? The race leader has taken advantage of his 34 seconds to pit for fresher tires. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just a lot of time. Like I said, he's going to pit. He will come out with still about 20 seconds ahead of everyone else. It's his race to win. It's absolutely his race. There's no way anybody else is going to catch up with this race leader. He comes back out and it's still just 14 seconds ahead of everyone else. He has gone in for soft tires. Could this be able to take him the entire 10 laps? We'll wait and see, because if we have seen anything, is that sometimes the last 6 laps will require you to pit again.
Yeah, for sure. He seems very fast, but you know, the pit stop, he looks like he lost a lot of time, because now it's down to 13 seconds. And if we have 10 laps and Kadugala gains a second on Joel every lap, then he probably will give him a fight at the final lap. Probably we might see that.
Yeah, and a reminder that Kadugala is just one of the few drivers who is yet to pit, because he went in for hard tires. He started on hard tires. He's still driving with those hard tires. He's maintained the ability to be at the top there. He's now garnering for Joel Kamadi, who seems to be getting away. But a 3 seconds penalty has been given to Kadugala for multiple warnings for going off the track. I mean, it just keeps getting worse for him.
For sure, when you think you've got it right, your prediction right, everything just hits the fan. But you know, with exceeding track limits, it's understandable. If you're gaining advantage unfairly over other drivers, then you should be penalized according to the rules. So he just needs to put his head down and give us some hammer time. I know he's not Hamilton, but he just could hammer it in the Mercedes without exceeding the track limits.
Right. I mean, absolute drama. And we have what? We have just a few more laps to go. How about what? 9 laps to go? Ladies and gentlemen, with these 9 laps to go, there's drama for who gets to finish second. There's drama for who gets to finish in 4th. But Samuel King now has a cool 16-second gap on Gerald Hamilton. Gerald Hamilton, the championship leader. This is not the race he wanted to have. This is definitely not the race he could have wanted to have at the end of the day.
For sure, it's just not going his way. And I thought when he went purple a few laps ago in different sectors, it would get better, but he seems stuck there. And now we have, 8 laps to go. He's still in 5th place and the gap is 15 seconds. That's a huge gap for him to cover within just 8 laps. So fingers crossed, maybe he may pull out a miracle, or maybe the other people at the top may go wrong, but it's just looking really hard. And now Kadugala actually pits like you asked, like you predicted before.
Yeah, Kadugala pits. Now that gives Joel Kamadi a lot of gap. But could it be also that with the fresher tires now he's pitted for, this could be able to take him all the way? Because guess what? He's pitted for purpose. That means he's gone for speed and he has the pace in that car. So can he hunt down? First of all, he has to hunt down Samuel King, who is 5 seconds ahead of him. He has to hunt down That is Bill, who has an incredible 22nd, oh wow, a lot of work for Kadugala really.
Now I'm starting to think that one-stop strategy didn't really pan out as well as it could have panned out, because he has a lot of, places to make up on the grid, a lot of overtakes to make, and it just always consumes time. Not to mention if he doesn't exceed track limits again. So I don't know whether the one-stop strategy was a good idea. He could have done mediums in between there and maybe pitted like everybody else. But with the hards, it's just now ruining it for him. And yet he had the pace. He's a good driver.
No, he is, and he is absolutely an awesome driver. But like you said, the strategy from the very beginning seems not to have worked out for him, and I think that is where the problem is coming from. Gerald Hamilton leads this race with an amazing 22-second gap on B1. And B1 hunt down Gerald Hamilton. But importantly, can Kadugala get himself into podium position, because he needs to get into podium. He needs that podium position if he's able to bridge the gap between him and Gerald Hamilton in the championship. But for Gerald Hamilton, this is a stunning race. This is a stellar race for him, and Eric is in no man's land. He's absolutely not going to be happy with what he's seeing today, because he needed to win this race to be able to get into the championship yet again. But he is way out of the possible positions to give him good points to be able to close the gap between him and Gerald. You don't want to be in the position, in the seats of these drivers. It's hot out there. The race is hot as well. So the drama may probably need some bit of rain. I don't know if the gods of nature and the gods of Formula One can be able to gift us some rain, but we need some rain out there, because those tires are burning and the drivers are sweating. But we love the drama. We love the action. B-Wall needs to continue maintaining what he's been doing so far, because guess what? He finishes in second today with 5 laps to go. It only means one thing. That he is giving the Gardens F1 community that ability to be able to win the Constructors' Championship. And boy, oh boy, will they love to raise that championship back at home on the 20th of November, where all the drama will come to an end at the Nigeria Gardens F1 community, because we are being reliably informed that the last race of the season will be held at Gardens F1 Club. They will host the last race of the season. So you may want to start planning your movement. You may want to plan your time and be there at Gardens F1 community and watch these drivers go toe to toe for who gets to take the championship. A reminder that there will be a big trophy to lift for the winner, but importantly, there will be 1 million Uganda shillings to take home. That's about what, $200 US?
I think so. Some good money you can use on your car. Just repair it if you've damaged it throughout the season. But it's pretty good money, and well done to whoever will win it. Well done to whoever.
Definitely. And by the look of things, Gerald Hamilton finds himself in 4th after overtaking Samuel King. Beautiful for Gerald Hamilton. He knows he has a lot of work to do. He knows he has to catch up with Kadugala, who is in 3rd position. But Kadugala now has a whole lot of work to do in catching up with B-Wall, who has 7.4 seconds gap on him And with just about 3 laps to go, this looks like B-Wall could be in for his... It's a 3-point-second penalty for Samuel King. He's been exceeding track limits as well. So many drivers have exceeded track limits today.
I'm telling you, a lot of them are going off the track and onto the grass and gaining an advantage. And you know the FIA is watching, so they're being fined.
Kadugala with another 3 seconds penalty. Not the race he wants to be having today.
He has been racking them up. He's about to equal Lewis's titles in penalties. So it's quite interesting to watch him do that. But I also wanted to ask, I don't understand why B-Wall is not catching up with Joel. He has the perfect driving line to me, and the pace looks like it's there, but he's just not closing in on Joel. Is it the Red Bull just flying, or I don't understand what's going on there?
Well, there's a 3 seconds penalty for Gerald Hamilton as well for exceeding track limits, and he's been given multiple warnings. Every driver today has gotten 3 seconds penalty, and I think apart from B-Wall and Joel Kamadi, I think that plays out well for B-Wall, because whatever happens between now and the remaining 2 laps, all he needs to do is make sure that he's within 3 seconds or no one goes ahead of him by a difference of 3 seconds, and he will be in to finish second in today's race.
I think so, and I think he might get driver of the day, because at least he's really had a good driving line, racing line, and apart from the contacts he made, it's just been a pretty good race for him. So finishing in second place is still a win for him, in my opinion. He's on the podium and he's driven his heart out.
He has really driven his heart out. He has given it everything. He's poured his body out there. He promised us that he will be able to race and give all the action to Gardens F1. He's delivering on that promise, but Kadugala is seeing B-Wall. He has him in his sights, so we could be in for some late drama, because now it's 2.6 seconds separating these 2 drivers. B-Wall has to give it everything. He has to push. He has to maintain his racing line. He has to make sure that he doesn't give Kadugala any room to get close, because now it's just 2 seconds separating these 2 drivers. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves. We're not going to ask you to determine who gets to win, but we're going to ask you who is going to finish second. 1.8 seconds separate these 2 drivers. B-Wall come as he needs to be, and he knows that he has to maintain that straight line. He has to maintain that track limit, and he will have this championship within himself. Gerald Hamilton can pit and still come out and win this race as he stand.
For sure, he can pit and just come out still on top. It's just so easy for him at the top now. Clean air, good car, good racing line, very few. Did he get penalties anyway? Very few penalties. He didn't get penalties. So he's definitely taking this one home. It's a final lap. B-Wall is probably coming home second, but he's driven his heart out, and Kadugala has also made it one with that one pit stop strategy that we thought was good fast.
0.4 seconds. Danger, drama, incoming, final lap. And there goes Kadugala. Can he get the inside line? Oh, they touch just a bit, and Kadugala gets away. Oh. And now he has a whole 1.2 seconds gap on B-Wall. Remember, he has fresher tires. He needs to create a 3 seconds gap, actually a 4 seconds gap between him and B-Wall. And B-Wall needs to make sure that he maintains that gap, doesn't need to panic. All he needs to do is remain within that gap. And Joel Kamadi comes home to win this Brazilian Grand Prix. The kind of result he would have wanted, he's gotten it eventually. Absolute drama. What a race this Joel Kamadi has had. And for B-Wall, he is 0.6 seconds behind Kadugala. 0.4 seconds now. Can he get him? Can he come down to the checkered flag. Kadugala comes home to the checkered flag, but because of the 3 seconds penalty, Biwol finishes second, and he is in pole. What a race this has been. What drama, what carnage. Gerald Hamilton has podium. Oh my goodness. This has been drama from all over the place. Oh wow, what a race, Ruth. What a race.
What a race, indeed, what a race. Joel had the time of his life. Biwol surprised us with his pace and speed. He had the perfect driving line. You know, Kadugala made it work even when it didn't seem like it was going to work. And Gerald Hamilton recovered from everything.
And the driver of the day is none other than Biwol, just like you predicted, really. What a race for the Ugandans F1 driver. Celebrations and happiness all over. We are going to go for a short break, but we are coming back with Mexico. And guess what? If you thought Brazil was hard, Mexico is going to give us drama after drama. We'll be right back.
I love Formula One because I'm intrigued by the amount of engineering that goes into it, the amount of speed these drivers take, and the risk dare reward that comes with the sport itself.
Welcome to the first ever Formula One eSports Championships in Uganda, and this is proudly brought to you by Next Level Pro Gaming. And I'll be your commentator, Moses Ichori.
My name is Emron, and I will be your commentator for the first ever Ugandan eSports Formula One competition.
Racing for Makere F1 community is Gerard, aka Hamilton. Racing for, that is Bugolobi community, that is Black Oak F1 community, you have Kadugala, that is Mohire. And then for the Gardens F1 club, the none other than Eric and Biwol. They'll be racing for Gardens F1 club.
Hi, my name is Eric from Gardens.
Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel? On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. Milliseconds between first and forgotten. Take your seat. Enter the new era. F1 22. Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel. On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. Milliseconds between first and forgotten. Take your seat. Enter the new era. F1 22. Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel. On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known.